Hope everybody's doing okay. This video is going to be about different types of reactions. Chemical reactions are happening around us all the time, and they can be classified into 5 general types of reactions. So this video is going to be how to classify those types of reactions. Okay, so the first type of reaction is called a synthesis reaction. It's also known as a combination reaction. In a synthesis reaction, we have 2 or more substances that chemically combine to form one larger substance. So we have substance A reacts with substance B to produce substance AB. For example, when we have hydrogen, remember hydrogen is a diatomic molecule, reacts with oxygen, another diatomic molecule, it produces water. So we have 2 separate substances coming together to form one substance is a synthesis reaction. If you want to look at it in the prom sort of way, one single guy and one single girl arrive at prom and they end up getting together at prom. The next type of reaction is the exact opposite. It's called decomposition, so it's the breaking down. So we have a substance, one substance that breaks down into smaller forms. So instead we have AB already together as a reactant, producing 2 or more products, in this case 2 products A and B. So in this case we'd have copper 2 carbonate breaking down, producing carbon dioxide and copper 2 oxide. So for the prom analogy, you'd have a couple arrives at prom, but then at prom they get into a fight and break up and they stay alone for the rest of the night. So that would be decomposition. The next one is called single displacement, but it's also referred to as single replacement. Okay? In a single replacement or displacement reaction, one element displaces or replaces part of a compound. So in this case, we have an element A, and we have compound BC as our reactants. When they react, they produce AC, and now B is on its own. So in this case, A has replaced B in the compound. Okay. For example, we have sodium reacts with copper 2 chloride, and it produces sodium chloride and copper. So this sodium has replaced copper in the compound. So if you guys remember the Flintstones, you have Fred and Wilma, and then Betty. But on the product side, you'd have Fred and Betty, and then Wilma on her own. The next reaction is called a double displacement, which is very similar to the single replacement, except it's double. So in this case, you have elements of 2 compounds replace each other within the compounds. So we have 2 compounds, AB and CD, as reactants, and then in the products we have CB and AD. So the A and the C, the cations, if it was an ionic compound, replace each other. So in this case, we would have sodium sulfate reacts with barium nitrate, and it produces sodium nitrate and barium sulfate. So the sodium and the barium have switched places. This would be a double displacement. So 2 couples arrive at prom, they each fight, and they end up trading partners. The last reaction is more intense, I guess, would be the thing. It's the burning of a substance, and so in this case it's usually a hydrocarbon, so some kind of compound with carbon and hydrogen burning an oxygen, and the products will be carbon dioxide and water. So we have a hydrocarbon, so CXHY, the X and the Y just denoting that it doesn't matter the number, reacting with oxygen, producing carbon dioxide and water. You could often see it denoted with the triangle over because it does usually require flame or heat of some sort to be added, but of course it also does produce a good amount of energy as well, generally. So in this case, we have carbon tetrahydride, also known as methane, burning an oxygen. So remember, when we have anything burning, it's actually reacting with oxygen in the air. producing carbon dioxide and water. And you can see a little picture of that. Okay, and that's it for the types, or for the general types of reactions. Hopefully this has been some help. Let me know if you have any questions.